Hey, what's up guys, Radku here, back with another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today is going to be a Salamangreat deck profile. So I actually really like this deck, and I think it is one of the best rogue decks going into this format. Now this deck isn't exactly known for its huge boards, however this deck is an amazing control style deck, and it can still do a ton of really strong combos. And with the new Mirage Stalio back to 1, we can pull off combos a lot easier, being able to get access to stuff like Gazelle, Spinny, and a lot of other cards a lot easier. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting things off, I play one copy of Gazelle. This card is probably the best card in the deck and is literally the heart and soul of the deck. I kind of wish we got this to 2 instead of Mirage Stalio back, but still, it's a really cool addition. Gazelle is basically a starter card. It, along with any other Salamangreat, is basically full combo. I play 3 copies of Foxy and 3 copies of Spinny. This is pretty standard for Mirage Stalio being back. Foxy is one of your normal summons of the deck, and Spinny is an amazing extender, both in the hand and in the grave. I play 2 copies of Jaguar. This card is also a really good extender and is one of the main ways of putting back your Link monsters, such as Sunlight Wolf, because this deck does burn through a lot of Link monsters. Then for the 1-ofs, I play 1 copy of Falco and 1 copy of Foul. Foul is actually really good for extra Link plays, and Falco is just a decent card for some removal. And it keeps renewing itself, which is one of the things that's really good about this deck. The fact that the Salamangreat monsters can keep renewing themselves, basically making them like a complete renewal engine that almost never runs out. So I played, for the starter cards, I played 2 copies of Flame Buffalo and 1 copy of Lady Debug. So the reason I did this, as opposed to 3 Flame Buffalo and cutting the Debug, is because Debug is actually a 1-card access code with 5300 and can attack twice. So that's an easy OTK, but the thing is that this card is really searchable in the deck, so I figured 1 is okay, and then the 2 Flame Buffalo, Bufferlo, is pretty good, but I decided to cut it down to 2 because I played the 3 Foxy. Honestly, you could put it at 3, but I just kind of like this ratio personally. I played 2 copies of Backup Secretary. I didn't play any of the other level 3 extenders because I figured that they just needed too much setup. You could easily use them, but I just kind of like the Backup Secretary. Honestly, the deck is consistent enough and can play through like 2 or 3 hand traps in a turn, which is really good, and I think Backup Secretary is just a decent extender. I played 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. This card is really good for Exceed's play, just being able to make Abyss Dweller or Baguska to shut down the field or the graveyard. And then rounding off the monsters, I played 3 copies of Ash. This card is actually searchable, or not necessarily searchable, more of you can renew it really easily. So then for the spells, I played 1 copy of Foolish, 1 copy of Circle, pretty standard. I could have played 1 Monster Reborn, but I decided not to. I played 1 copy of Sanctuary. This card is really good. This card is what allows you to, I'm pretty sure the term is Reincarnation Summon, I'm not sure. But honestly, it's really, really good, and is also one of the key pieces of the deck. I played 2 copies of Will. Will is super good. It allows for a lot of recurrence, and is mainly just a really strong card in general to just keep using your resources, and it's one of the ways to get around, to use Spinny like twice. I played 3 copies of Signet and 3 copies of Desires. These are consistency cards. Signet can get you to any of these monsters, like it's super easy, and then Desires is really good because there's only really 2 cards that you specifically need, or you don't want to banish, and that's Sanctuary and Gazelle. But Sanctuary is really easily searched with Balinks, and Gazelle, it doesn't matter if you banish it. So for the traps, I play 3 Strike, 2 Roar, and 2 Rage. So the reason I do this lineup and not 1 Roar and 2 Rage or something like that, is because I actually think that these are more optimal for this deck specifically, because if you hard draw into one of them, you can search the other one, which is really important for the deck. So I think that this is the optimal lineup, despite what some lists are running, but it's it's up to what you personally want. So for the extra deck, I played 3 copies of Balinx. This card is amazing. You can renew it, and it protects your Salamangreat card from being destroyed. I played 3 copies of Sunlight Wolf. This card is broken. It is literally the best card in the deck. It allows for renewal both on your turn, and your opponent has to play around it, or else you get back more resources. Then you can add Salamangreat spells and traps from to your hand from the graveyard, which is really, really good and allows you to pull off your major combos. I played 2 copies of Heat Leo. This card is just like basic. It's one of the better Salamangreat extra deck cards, but I just decided not to play like the Fire Phoenix because that card's just weird. I mean, honestly, you could play it to play stuff like Mirage Stallion better, but I think it's not necessary. Heat Leo's really good. It gets around certain things, and I actually really like it. So for the access code engine, I played 1 update jammer, 1 transcode, and 1 access code. This is your main engine to go into your double attack 5300 access, and it's really, really good. Then I played 1 copy in Ningirsu. This card is your Out to Dragoon. It's actually really easily made in this deck because you can go into Balinx, and then honestly, it's just really good, and it's super easily accessible. So for the XCs, I played 1 Baguska, 1 Dweller, and 1 Mirage Stallion. I feel that this is pretty standard. Baguska is just getting rid of the field, Dweller is getting rid of the grave, and Mirage Stallion is an amazing extender for the deck. So that is it for the deck. Let's go into some combos. So this is a basic 1-card combo with Lady Debug. This can get you into your access code, and it's really, really good. So you normal summon the Debug, a Debug effect to search the Gazelle. Link off the Debug, go into Balinx. Balinx search a Sanctuary, activate the Sanctuary, link off the Balinx for Balinx effect of Gazelle to summon it. Then you can ditch the Spinny effect to summon itself. Then you can go into an update jammer, then link off for transcode talker. Then you can use the effect of transcode and summon back the update jammer. Now technically this is actually an OTK already, because I think it amounts to 8300 damage, but here's where the crazy part happens. You link those 2 off, go into an access code. Now you have a 5300 access code that can attack twice, which means that you easily have an OTK. This is one of the main reasons why Salad was so good in the last format, because it had a strong going first board, and it had an easy way to OTK going second. So that is it for the first combo. Let's go into the next one. So as you could probably tell from a little bit of this, I'm not exactly the most knowledgeable person in terms of Salamangreat in the new format. I was okay with it in the last format, but I wasn't really sure how to play it with Mirage Stallion all the same. But here's a basic 2-card combo that can get you into your Sunlight Wolf and get 1 trap. So you use the effect, or normal summon Foxy, you can use the effect to mill, or look at the top 3, and then add 1, which can get you into extenders. It can get you into more traps, and it can get you into your spell extender. So then you can link off the Foxy, go into the Balinx, use the effect of Balinx, then you can search a Sanctuary, and a lot of people for some reason don't utilize Foxy in the graveyard. You can use the effect of Foxy. Since you now control a face-up spell card, you can use the effect of Foxy to ditch the Spinny and summon the Foxy back. Then you can use the effect of Spinny to special summon it. Then you can overlay for your Mirage Stallion. Then you can detach 1, use the effect of Stallion. And now keep in mind, Spinny does not get banished because it technically didn't leave the field. You can summon the Gazelle effect to dump Roar, Rage. You can either dump Roar or Rage, it doesn't matter. It just depends on which one you don't have, because this is why I play 2 and 2. It makes it more likely you'll draw 1, and then you can search the other one, which is really good. So then you can link 2 for the Sunlight Wolf, use the effect of Sanctuary. You can link off the Sunlight Wolf, summon a Sunlight Wolf, then use the effect of Sunlight Wolf to add the Roar, or the Rage to hand. Then you can set the Rage, and now you have a pop, you have follow-up, and you have graveyard resources, which is really, really good. So let's say it's on your turn. You can summon back the Spinny to a zone. Then you can use the effect to add a Gazelle to hand, then you can link off the Sunlight Wolf and the Spinny in order to go into something like a transcode talker, summon back, then you can put up 7,300 damage, or you could just keep extending depending on what you drew, and you still get to maintain your resources and add back your traps for amazing amounts of recurrence. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know what you thought, and let me know if there's anything you would change about the list. Let me know how I should change up the combos, because I'm fairly certain that this was not an optimal combo. Please let me know down in the comments, and yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video. Peace, guys.